Who's Face Sensei here, along with Hazel. I think I might just do the video with Hazel here the whole time. Okay, so let's deal with this Jake Paul situation. I guess he was talking a lot of smack in a previous video, and I just wanted to address some of the things that he said. At this point, I'm not sure if he's just saying this to get a rise out of people, because I'm not sure if he even believes what he's saying, or he's just saying things to, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know. The first thing he says is that he calls himself Sensei because he wants people to believe that he can beat up people.
And it's funny because like he named himself like Sensei,
right?
Like, and then because of that, everyone thinks he could fight. Like, oh, he's Sensei. And it's like, okay, bro, he sucks. Like he is garbage.
First off, the reason I call myself Sensei is because I am a Sensei. I think most people know that. And Sensei means teacher. You're a martial arts teacher. I do not train fighters, right? So we are a martial arts school that teaches karate, kickboxing, boxing basics, but we don't train people to compete in athletic competition, if that makes sense. And if you can see here, this is actually one of our shirts. This is Ocasios, which is my last name. Okay, Ocasio. And then True Martial Arts. My father started some dojos way back in 1985. Here's actually a perfect segue. One of my students, Evan, his dad reached out to me because he works regardless, involved with this company that I think could benefit you guys. He reached out to me, he realized I was a YouTuber, a part of FaZe and the whole gaming community, and he thought what this company provides can be very beneficial for people your age in this demographic. I figured, hey, just give me the information, I'll share it with my, with my fans, with the community, and if it, they receive it well and they like it, then you can pursue it, within FaZe or with other. The website is called skillsoft.com, I believe. To keep it brief, what they do is provide online training and certifications so that you can improve your resume when it comes to tech and STEM field jobs. A lot of gamers, the whole YouTube community, the videography field, obviously tech, I figured share it with you guys. Look at the website, put feedback. If you have questions, you can go in the comments. Again, I'm not being paid to do any of this, so I figured I just want to share it with you guys. I feel like it's a good thing. Now on to the next thing. Jake also mentioned that he doesn't like the way that I talk.
And yeah, I just don't like the way he talks on camera.
I don't know if I talk weird. Now, I'm actually, to be honest, now that I've been talking, I'm starting to think about it. I'm like, is he being serious? I honestly know, I don't think he's being serious. But it's funny because he gets accused for sort of the same thing. People don't like the way that he comes off or his personality. I think he's trying to say he doesn't like my personality. Even he's acknowledged that like it's easy to hate Jake Paul. He gets accused of things, and you know what I mean? He knows that he's an easy target. I don't know him personally, but I'm definitely not gonna get dragged into this whole like sticking up your chest macho contest with Jake Paul. He calls me a kid. I'm turning 29 this Friday, which is absolutely mind-blowing. I feel like an old man, but I still feel like I'm young at heart. So I'm gonna take it as a compliment. So keep calling me a kid. I appreciate it. Soon I'm gonna be 30, and then like I have to be an adult at that point. But I'm gonna be Shane Dawson here for a second and attempt to get into the mind of Jake Paul. Pretty much after the Deji fight, he had mentioned that he went through a hard time. I remember he made some videos and he was emotional, talking about his life. And he talked about like he didn't know what was next, and now he has this thing where he wants to be like the best YouTube boxer, right, or be the best boxer, whatever he wants to be. And he's clearly super dedicated and he's very successful, so he knows how to work hard. He's clearly dedicated, he has drive, no doubt about it. You can see just the progress from him from the Deji fight to the Gib fight. He's clearly super confident in himself, as he should be, right? So I don't blame him for saying these things, right? He's going after KSI, he beat his brother. There's so many reasons why he should do this, and clearly it's something that's given him drive. He's even talked about it, that he's excited, he has something to focus on every day. He's training. And it's a lot simpler than just trying to make content and please fans and all that stuff. He can just train and compete. He was a wrestler in high school, so he obviously enjoys the athlete life, so to speak. I mean, I can attest to it. When you are playing a sport and you're competitive, whether it's football, basketball, martial arts for me, whenever you get on a good run and you're successful and you've been training, you've been working out, you've been lifting, that testosterone is booming, you just feel like invincible and you can take over the world, right? So I just think that he's on that rut, and clearly I think he thinks that it's the best for him when it comes to marketing, right? I'm talking about this, it was talked about a lot. So I think that he's gonna keep, whatever name they put out there, or if they keep asking him, he's gonna say something spectacular or something that's just gonna get you guys to turn your head and be like, what, whether it's good or bad. Joe Weather talked about it pretty extensively with like his work with him in YouTube, and just like how behind the scenes he is. He's a slightly different person, and then on the camera he just completely changed. He goes straight into Jake Paul mode. And obviously it's worked for him. So I'm not gonna knock Jake for doing that because clearly it's worked for him. He's very successful. Like as a YouTuber, obviously it's worked. I don't know how it's affecting his personal life. I don't know him personally, but at least it's good to see somebody, you know, get direction again. And when he was emotional and all upset and all that stuff, I'm assuming that was genuine. I'm glad he's got some drive. It's just very tricky. I'll tell you this. It's just very tricky when you have everything in your life surrounded by one thing, right? If you're, like, especially YouTubers, man, a lot of my friends, it is not easy. When you try to blend the personal life and the YouTube life, you have like a company, then you have your friends, and you have all these things you're trying to blend together, and there's so many blurred lines because you have the hat of I'm a YouTuber, I'm doing this video, and then it's like, oh, these are my friends and this is my life, and you're trying to make a good video, produce good content, but it's also your personal life. So it's very, very tricky. I was lucky enough to not even get involved in YouTube until like in my early 20s, mid 20s. So I was working, I'm a martial arts instructor. I have like a very simple life. I got my cats, right? I play semi-pro football, I play flag football. I got my teammates, you know what I mean? I have my family. I go help them with yard work. I go over the house, shoot some hoops, spend time with my family. I play video games with my nieces and my nephews, and my girlfriend and my brother most of the time. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And I teach online martial arts classes, and we're teaching classes back again. So like that's my life. And then I'm also a YouTuber. I would do YouTube whether it's successful or not, whether the views go up or down. I'm just gonna, you know, try to do it well, but it does not have any really overall impact on my personal life. So that's why it's weird when you interact with some of the YouTubers, but you're kind of like YouTubers talking YouTuber to YouTuber, and it's like personal, or is it YouTuber to YouTuber, right? Is the camera on, is it off? It's very tricky. And these guys are young, going through this with the camera on their face, with a bunch of money, with a bunch of responsibilities, a bunch of people that, you know, you're taking care of, etc. It's wild. I'm just mature enough not to take it personal. Like when he says that stuff, I just don't take it personal, right? He's just doing his thing, whatever that is. It doesn't impact me personally whatsoever. But with that being said, I know that you guys want to obviously see us fight and see us spar, whatever it may be. You want to see us compete and put on some gloves and punch each other and attempt to do that. I want to do something with Logan. We talked about it. It's just about this whole, you know, COVID-19 really put a damper on traveling and doing things. I'm thinking because he's supposed to fight KSI, and that's number one. So I'm like, talking about fighting, he's clearly supposed to be fighting KSI in 2021. I'm not sure if he's trying to book a fight this year. I don't know what he's trying to do. That's clearly the fight that's gonna happen. That's where the focus is, right? That's what we all want to see. I want to see that, right? We all want to see that. So maybe with some of the clear-ups, I'll be able to get the sparring in with Logan and Jake within the next couple of months or something, maybe by the end of the year. So there's enough time between now and next year, because obviously if it's like a couple months before the fight, if I assume that I'm gonna be able to spar again with KSI and do some training with him, I would love to do that every single time. It's been awesome. The content has been great. The experience has been super sick. So I think if there's enough time between then and now, I might be able to get some sparring in. But in terms of a actual fight, the whole spectacle of like professional fighting or amateur or whatever it may be, I'm not even thinking about that, because first thing is KSI versus Jake Paul, and then after that, I guess we could do it, but I'm not even thinking about it. But leave a like and put in the comments if you want to see some sparring happen, and I will do my best to make that happen. And I know my coach is watching this and my family, so I promise I will train and prepare. Again, this is not like me going to spar KSI or Gib, who like on their side. We're friends, and I'm going there to help them and be a part of their camp. So I know that Jake wants to take my head off, so I'm gonna make sure I'm prepared when I go into that situation, so I don't like run out of breath or go in there with any injuries or anything like that. So just to protect myself, to make sure I'm ready so I can give you guys the best show possible. And my next video is actually gonna be about the Black Lives Matter protests and the whole movement and everything that's going on with George Floyd. I haven't talked about it on any social media platform. I think it's important that I do, and people have been asking me to do so because I have a lot of, you know, personal feelings or just viewpoints and perspectives that people think that I should share. So, and I think it's important time to talk, so I'm gonna do that. In terms of Jake, I know he just got arrested. He was actually supposed to be at a party in Arizona with one of my friends who lives there, and then when I first heard it, I'm like, okay, he wasn't looting. He probably was just trying to record, or he went there, maybe he was a part of the protest and went south, and then he's just there, so capturing it, like thinking himself as like a news reporter, just trying to capture, like he's not involved in it. I don't know what he did or didn't do. I'm gonna lean on the side that he didn't loot or anything like that. I wouldn't think, I just, that doesn't even make sense in whatever. I just think he was trying to capture it. But like I said, blurred lines, man, this is like there's like YouTube content, like when you're trying to do spectacular things and exciting things. When you have like protests or riots, this is something that you just don't want to blur. Like you have to be very, very careful. Hope you guys like my voice. Hope you guys like the way that I sound. But other than that, leave a like in the video and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Oos!